Are we descendants of the stars? The Pleiades, the mysterious seven sisters, have been the subject of legends and myths across countless cultures. But what if these tales hold a shocking truth? Brace yourself as we unravel the secrets of the Pleiades and their connection to the human race. From ancient monuments that serve as testaments to our celestial origins to the chilling accounts of Nordic aliens and their genetic experiments on humans, this video will take you on a journey that challenges everything you thought you knew. Prepare to have your mind blown as we expose the government's alleged involvement in covering up the truth about extraterrestrial heritage. Join us as we explore the extraordinary legend of Devil's Tower and the startling possibility that the Pleiades may hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of our existence. Get ready for a mind-bending adventure that will leave you questioning the very fabric of our reality. According to the Polynesian legend, the Pleiades was once a single star, the brightest in the sky, but the Polynesian god, Tane, disliked this star, bragging about its beauty. So the god smashed it into pieces, creating the Pleiades star cluster as we know today. This unique cluster of stars is among the first stars mentioned in literature, appearing in Chinese historical archives from around 2350 BC. The earliest European literature references it in Iliad, a poem by Hesiod in 1000 BC, and in Homer's Odyssey. Humankind has always looked up to the Pleiades stars constellation for guidance. Sailors also relied on the stars for navigation, and farmers for when to sow and harvest their crops. The Zuni tribe in New Mexico called the stars the seed stars, and when the cluster disappeared every spring, it indicated appropriate time to sow. Other cultures believe they seeded the planet and are the original seven mothers of Earth. Legends also have it that the origin of the modern-day festival Halloween can be traced to the Pleiades. It is believed that Halloween originated from the old Druid rite that overlapped with the midnight culmination of the Pleiades star cluster. People believe the veil dividing the living from the dead is at its thinnest when the Pleiades culminates and reaches its highest point in the sky, particularly at midnight. For millennia, the seven sisters of the Pleiades, as immortalized in the famous Pleiades star cluster, have been objects of wonder and fascination across the globe. Many ancient cultures had myths and stories associated with the Pleiades. According to Greek mythology, the Pleiades were seven sisters: Maia, Alcyone, Asterope, Celaeno, Taygete, Electra, and Merope. Their parents were Atlas, a titan commanded by the god Zeus to uphold the earth, and Pleione, the mythical protectress of sailors. After a chance meeting with the hunter Orion, the Pleiades and their mother became the object of his pursuit. To protect them from Orion's relentless amorous advances, Zeus changed them into a flock of doves, which then he set into the heavens. Rumors also have it that Zeus fathered children with three of the sisters. Well, I guess that explains the great god going out of his way to protect some unknown entities. The seven sisters were also known as the Water Girls or the Ice Maidens because of their association with water, whether it is in the rivers, seas, rain, snow, or ice. The Greek legends also refer to the sisters as Oceanids. Some sources claim that the name Pleiades originates from the ancient Greek word plein, meaning to sail. If indeed the tales surrounding the seven sisters were true, you would expect to find evidence of their existence in the past in the modern era. The Devil's Tower monolith is a testament to the legend of the Seven Sisters. All who have seen the gigantic stump-like formation rising over 1,200 feet above the Balenciaga River will understand why it inspired the imagination of the Native Americans. Devil's Tower is located in northeastern Wyoming and was designated as the nation's first national monument by President Teddy Roosevelt in 1906. But of course, its human history goes back thousands of years before that. The location was made famous when it was featured in the 1977 movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind. However, for generations before, tribal people considered the enigmatic monolith to be a sacred site. Scientists believe that the Devil's Tower is the core of a volcano exposed after millions of years of erosion caused by the Balenciaga River and weather. The Devil's Tower is part of the wild tectonic story about a magma plume that has boiled its way down but never made it to the surface on its own. The geologic origin story might not sound so special in comparison with its historical origin. There are numerous legends surrounding the tower, most of which were passed down through generations while sitting at a fire. Local indigenous tribes like the Kiowa and Lakota tribes of North America have legends that link the origin of the Pleiades to the Devil's Tower. The oral history of Crow weaves a far more sudden tale about two girls being pursued by a gigantic hungry bear. In their helpless state, they offered prayers to the Great Spirit to save them. In answer to their desperate pleas, the Great Spirit shot the underground underneath them up into the sky, and the girls were out of reach from the bear. But the bear would not give up. He followed in pursuit, climbed the tower, scratching out the columns, but could not make it to the top. This tale explains the unusual carving on the wall of the mountain. The sacred narratives of the Cheyenne, Lakota, and Kiowa are all similar, with sun dances, sweat lodge, and prayer offerings being a regular on the site, even to this day. So if you see prayer clothes or other religious artifacts at the park, please do not disturb them or go home with them. Ancient civilizations around the world have spoken of angelic beings that descended from the sky, most likely sent by God to assist humanity by sharing their spiritual and emotional wisdom with earthlings. These mythological entities seem to continue their mission to this day, and many believe they are emissaries from outer space, an extraterrestrial species known as the Nordic or Pleiadian race. The Nordics are ancient alien species that began appearing to humans in the 1950s, initially claiming to be from Venus, but later revealed to have come from the Pleiades star cluster. While generally seen as benevolent species, there is a high chance that the Vril society might have been influenced by the Nordics. Some factions might have deviated from the path of light, aligning with malicious entities opposing the human race. Nordic alien descriptions can differ, but some unchanging features provide an overview of their characteristics. According to legends, Nordics have the most human-like appearance of all the different types of aliens and closely resemble people of Scandinavian origin. Eyewitnesses describe their appearance as being 6 to 7 feet tall, with long reddish or blonde hair, blue or green eyes, and fair skin, perfect features of an angelic being. Those who have been in contact with this alien race state that their appearance allows them to freely explore our planet, as they can easily pass as Earthlings. The existence and confirmation of Nordic aliens come from different testimonies made by humans. The descriptions we know today about the alien entities are commonly associated with UFO sightings and abduction phenomena within the European nations. Over the last few decades, a significant number of people have claimed to have come in contact with these extraterrestrial beings with messages of peace and love. Most of the information available about these said species was all from eyewitness accounts. One of the most notable and intriguing cases of Nordic abduction that occurred in North America was a man named Travis Walton. Walton was working as a logger in Arizona when he came across a hovering alien craft with his lumber crew and was knocked unconscious by a beam of light emanating from the object. He was taken aboard where he encountered different types of beings, including a Nordic-like race of tall, white humanoids. He was released after 5 days, and the subsequent stories began a news sensation. Walton shared his experience in the book titled The Walton's Experience, which became the basis for the 1993 film Fire in the Sky. Another notable witness is Billy Meyer, a Swedish farmer. Meyer also claimed to have been in contact with the Pleiadians, a Nordic extraterrestrial race. Throughout his life, he photographed, filmed, and maintained being in contact with these beings, delivering their messages of peace and love to humanity. George Adamski was another Nordic contactee in the 1950s. He claimed to have been in contact with a group of Nordic aliens from Venus. He wrote several books on the subject and said that his materials were cleared by the FBI and the United States government. But why would the government do this? Are they trying to hide something? I guess we'll find out. You might not have seen any space aliens before, but that does not necessarily mean they don't exist. And with the rising number of human encounters with aliens, it is safe to assume that these extraterrestrial beings really exist. In fact, they might be still living among us. But what for reasons exactly? Recent polls indicate that up to 6% of Americans claim to have been abducted by aliens, and their experience does not sound pleasant. The extraterrestrial beings are often said to take their captives to their spaceships, lay them on a table, extract sperm from the men, and impregnate the women. If you are familiar with UFO lore, then you would know that there are a couple of common explanations for these breeding experiments. One is that the aliens are in a reproductive bind in their home world and can no longer procreate. Therefore, as a means to maintain their existence, they come down to Earth to use humans as incubators to spawn alien offspring. Another common opinion is that the aliens are producing hybrid beings that will somehow help them take over our planet. Scientists, of course, are doubtful of these claims. After all, there has never been any good evidence that abductions are taking place. No one ever seems to bring along their cell phone or take photos or to pocket an artifact from the saucers. I guess we are left with spoken testimonies from the victims, and since nobody wakes up one day and decides to get kidnapped by unknown entities, we have no choice to believe what they say. With this, it is safe to assume that some human race might have descended from extraterrestrial beings. Sometimes back, it was rumored that President Eisenhower had a secret meeting with a group of Nordic beings who were attempting to convince the United States to disarm its nuclear missile program in exchange for advanced technology. The event is said to have taken place in February 1954 at Edwards Air Force Base under the guise of Eisenhower undergoing emergency dental surgery. It is believed that the meeting did not end with any sorts of agreement. Instead, Eisenhower is said to have entered into a treaty with the Gray Aliens, a pact ensuring that the United States could keep its nuclear arsenal while still receiving advanced technologies from the ETs. In exchange for this technological intel, the aliens would be allowed to conduct their experiment on the American people without question. If the government can strike a deal with the aliens for their own gain, then it is not surprising if they had a hand in the cover-up and silence of various individuals who claim to have come in contact with aliens. As we unravel the secrets of the Pleiades and their connection to humanity, another shocking revelation emerges from the world of fashion. Brace yourself for a chilling discovery that will make your blood run cold. Are Balenciaga, the renowned luxury brand, turning their models into mannequins? The truth is more terrifying than you could ever imagine. Click on the screen now to uncover the sinister plot that lurks behind the glamorous facade of the fashion industry. Witness the disturbing transformation of living, breathing models into lifeless, hyper-realistic mannequins. Is this the work of advanced alien technology, or is there a darker, more nefarious force at play? Don't miss out on the mind-bending expose that will shatter your perception of reality and leave you questioning the very nature of our existence. Click now and embark on a thrilling journey into the heart of a fashion conspiracy that threatens to reshape the world as we know it. The truth is just a click away.